What's up, everybody? Ty Bartell in with another edition of Coach's Corner. This time we head to our friends over in Blue Jay country in Jackson, Milton, Ohio, as the Blue Jays baseball coach, Matt Ruby, joining me today. Coach, how we doing, man?
It's going good. 65 degrees today. It's beautiful.
You really can't complain about the weather this early in March if you're a Diamond Sports coach too. What kind of advantages are you taking with the team? Are you getting them outside a lot this week?
Yes, this will be our fourth time on the field this year so far. So we got a busy week this week with winter sports banquet and band concerts and stuff, but we're taking full advantage of it.
In a sort of kind of meet this team segment, take us through your roster. I know you guys had a couple seniors that you graduated last year, but you're bringing back a ton of talent. And with a team that was around 500, I gotta figure you're kind of excited of where they can go from here.
Yeah, I bring back everybody except for my second baseman and shortstop from last year. So I'm looking at having a minimum of six starting pitchers at the varsity level. I bring back both catchers. I mean, I've already replaced right now. I got two guys that are very capable of playing the middle infield. Other than that, my first baseman is playing that position since he was a freshman. Same thing on third base. Same thing with my center fielder. Same thing with my starting catcher. So we got a lot of varsity experience under our belts right now.
Who are some of the players and names that are going to be highlighting this team that we should be watching out for this year?
Oh, geez, I'm gonna start on the mound with my rotation. I'm gonna have Drew Sloan, who's very electric, and he's only getting stronger as he's getting ready to graduate in the spring. He committed. He's going to be going to Ohio Northern in the fall. I've got another senior, Landon Workman. Um, he's coming off an ACL injury, but he's already throwing his bullpens and everything like that. So he's actually getting ready to commit, hopefully to Lakeland up there with Howie Cross. James Coyle, another senior who threw a lot of varsity innings last year. I've got CJ Matulik. He's a freshman. He's gonna log a lot of varsity innings. Blake Hawkendonor, Brady Anton. Even my catcher, who I can put out to the mound to throw in some non-league games, Caden Ruby.
So you got a wealth of pitchers there too. I want to get into
Yeah.
your position players as well too, but just to kind of go off of that, just talk to me about just what does that do for you as a coach, knowing that you have a lot of depth. That honestly, the key position at no matter level baseball you're in, it feels like high school all the way to the pros, like you need pitching.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. All the guys here, like on my mound right now, like they're not just throwers. Like we're challenging them this year, and especially in our first and thirds and our bunt coverages and stuff like that. To, like think like you gotta be a pitcher now, and like we're setting pitches up now. We're not just like going right after the guy. There's a time and place for that, but there's also another time and place where you gotta get swings and misses.
So when we're talking about some of your position players, who are some of these guys that are going to be kind of making up the offensive side of the game for you and putting up big numbers?
All right, I'm going to start in right field. I'll be Jack McDevitt. He'll be a 3-year starter for me. He's a junior. Dom Kroll, he's a senior. He has started every single game at center field since he's been a freshman, and he'll be my leadoff hitter. Left field is going to be kind of like a platoon because Landon's one of my corner outfielders as well. Nate Craver has come a long way. He's improved a lot. He's another junior. He's going to be logging on quite a bit of varsity innings as well. My backup catcher, who is Ethan Sokol, he's a sophomore. He's going to see some time in the outfield as well. And then to round out the infield, Jaden Henry, he's a senior, another 4-year starter at that position. Shortstop, I'm going to be moving James Croyle when he's not pitching to shortstop with Blake Hawkendonor as backup. Second base right now is going to be Jaden Scott. He took a year off last year to focus on wrestling. So it's his senior year. He reached out, really wanted to play. So we give him that opportunity to win that position. If not, I've got I can't be more happier with my sophomore class. I got 12 sophomores, and they played a lot of JV games last year, and they have improved tremendously. And behind the plate, I'm gonna have junior Caden Ruby. He's been started at that position since he's been a freshman.
And that's another key position for you guys as well. You always need a good catcher, especially for the kind of pitching staff you guys are going to have. What's it like just to know you have experience all throughout this team coming back that not only has like played baseball before, but has played varsity baseball before and has seen what it takes to be successful?
Well, to circle on that, I have a lot of guys that play travel. So they spend the summer traveling to high showcase tournaments. They're seeing great competition all summer long. But also that is like with the guys that are coming back, the culture here is just like unbelievable. Um, Everybody, I'm not a big believer in team captains. I'm one of those guys that like, hey, if everybody leads, everybody succeeds. So like prime example, yesterday we had practice slated for 4:15 on the field. They're already stretching at 3:45. Like they're ready to go. It's been that way ever since. It's just from seniors down to the freshmen I have. It's just a very good culture right now.
And anytime I've been out to a Jackson Mountain baseball game, it feels like the community gets out there and supports too. And how important is the community support in helping with the success of this team?
I tell you what, like since we play over here at the elementary school, like all of a sudden we look down at game time and the whole right field fence is just flooded with people just standing there watching. It's a great thing. I mean, like the students, they finish with track. They come over and watch the games. If softball's not playing, they come over and watch the games. It's like I said, it's just a very good culture right now. And basketball had a lot of success. They had a good culture, so it just kind of keeps breeding and breeding. And I know with our new football coaching, he's going to instill a great new culture too. So like that's a really good thing to have right now.
When we talk about the conference, the MVAC on the Scarlet side is always a competitive one through and through. Always great competition up and down it. How do you see yourselves fitting in, and what do you foresee out of the conference this year?
I'd be it's shame on me if I don't think that we should be competing for, that league championship because we should. I have every anticipation that we should be. The league is full of pitchers. You know, every team's got one, if not two. I mean, every team has great pitching. The Carson Clases, Xavier Clamers. Terry Dobson's always going to field a good team out there. The Waterloo, I can't remember the name of the kid, but he came into pitches against us last year. He was a sophomore. And he could hum it a little bit. Like this league is good, especially pitching wise. I'm hoping, with adding Camel, I don't know too much about Camel. I know great coach over there, but I that's a lot of league games. I think we're scheduled to play 16 league games.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of weeks where we're playing four league games a week. So as long as the pitching holds up and barring any rainouts, we got to play back to back, and you know, it should be very exciting.
I know though those league games are going to be fun and exciting throughout the course of the season, and of course, Mother Nature providing, you will be able to get some non-conference games in as well. What are a couple of those that you're excited for your guys to be tested against?
We actually got set up with Mogador last year. We played up at Kent State, so we're making that trip again. When we play in Mogador at Kent State, I think it's the second week of April on a Saturday. We got LeBray again. Me and Eddie Anthony have a great relationship, so we're playing each other. We're playing that one in Eastwood.
Yeah.
Um, Trying to think, we got Crestview. Crestview's very good. They got a lot of pitching over there and good coaches over there. I'm trying to think who else. Newton Falls. Newton Falls was a big surprise last year. Other than that, with 16 league games, like you only have 11 non-conference.
Yeah.
So
You spread it out, do what you can do, no doubt. What would you say if you were to kind of give some words to describe the identity of what you think this team's going to be this year? What would you say that is?
a lot of grit, and determination. Like they're very focused right now. They're very tuned in. I'm not saying we're where we need to be right now. You know what I mean? Like only 4 practices on the field. We still got a long way to go. But one of the great benefits is the fact that when you return a lot of starters, you're not starting from day one. So
Mhm.
it's all about getting the reps in, making sure we're good in those situations when it comes time to it. But yeah, they're very tuned in right now. We played a very good game in our district semi last year against Middle Ridge. Fortunately, we came up on the short end of that, but like at that game, either team could have won that game. It just came down to that one time we hit. Both pitchers were on fire. They were dealing. It just came down to that one hit. And I think, like these kids right now, they're really bought in, and I couldn't be more happier with the way things are going right now. I'm trying to keep it a little more fresh this year with the guys, instead of being in the gym 6 days a week.
Yeah.
We're going hard for 4 days, and we're making Friday and Saturday optional. And I say that, and I have 22 kids showing up on Friday and Saturday for optional practices. So I mean, they want to be here, and that's the culture that's going on right now, and it's great to be a part of.
No doubt. And it sounds exciting to be a part of as well. When you talk about some goals for this season in terms of growth, what's some growth you want to see from now until game one, opening day? And what's some growth you want to see this team have throughout the course of the potential 27 game regular season?
For right now, I just want the kids to stay hungry. Leaving every day better than they showed up, staying healthy. A lot of league games just means we need good arm care. Things along those lines. Um, Still continue to get stronger. Like we lift every day. Obviously, it's a light lift, you know what I mean? But we're still in that weight room every day with the kids. Um, I think, for our long term, these seniors really sat down, and some of these juniors that have been starting for a while, they really want to be part of regionals. Yeah, we've been in district semis, we've been in district finals, but the program, the school's never been to a regional. So like that's the ultimate end game for them. That's what they want to accomplish.
I know a coach can't do it by himself. You got to have a good crew around you. So shout out your assistants and the people that are going to be helping you run this squad this year.
Well, unfortunately, I lost my long term assistant, Bill Sloan. He's been calling pitches for me for the last 4 years. Just a work thing, But I added a great volunteer last year in Dan Ferguson. He used to be the head coach of Middle Ridge. He's coached a couple teams down in the B League. So he's joined me for year two, and then I still have that JV program, so that's going to be James Harris this year, who's been with me ever since I got this job 5 years ago.
What is it about baseball that keeps you coming back and wanting to be a head coach for it?
You know what? I ask myself all the time. Not only do I coach here, but since high school's over, I coach travel ball. So I coach baseball all the way up until September every year. I think it's just the fact that like that's what I was. That's where I succeeded at. That's where I was good. I had a good college career. You know what I mean? And I just think that I can relate to the kids. You know what I mean? Especially baseball wise. So and there's a lot of kids in this community that want to play baseball.
What kind of when you talk about lessons that the sport has personally taught you, having a collegiate career too, and being able to have opportunities at the collegiate level through baseball, what are some of the life lessons that the sport has kind of taught you throughout that whole process?
You get to learn how to fail because baseball. You're going to fail. You're talking guys that go to a Hall of Fame. They bat 300. They're getting one hit a game. You know what I mean? The guys that can learn how to fail and move on are the ones that succeed. And the one thing I really like about baseball, I'm not knocking any other sports by any means. But, basketball, it's always an advantage to be tall.
Yeah.
Football, always an advantage to be strong and be able to run through people. Baseball is just like, hey, you gotta have that mental aspect, and you can be really good being average. That's the way I look at it. With the veteran team I have, we have done some like life skill stuff with these guys, outside of baseball. Since a lot of them are going to be going to the college level and entering, the workforce. You know what I mean? Like you may not always have that boss that you don't agree with, but at the end of the day, you need to collect a paycheck. You may not have coworkers that you want to hang out with, but you gotta be able to work with them. I think that's what baseball does. Baseball, in my opinion, is the ultimate life lesson.
Coach, one of my final questions for you. I want to give you the chance to shout out the community, let them know why they need to be supporting this team this year and why you guys are going to be the show in town.
Oh, geez. I mean, like first of all, it starts with the parents. Baseball is that sport where you don't know if you're playing at 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock. You don't know if you're playing home, away. It's shout out to them. They're the ones doing laundry after games, making sure there's a uniform ready for the next day. They're the ones bringing snacks before games. I shout out to the parents first, and you know what? And I just think that it just breeds down um, throughout the younger levels here at the school. I hold a youth camp every year. So I do like 2 weekends with the hot stove organization, where I run a clinic with them. I bring the coaches in, and go over some, hey, like these are some good drills to run, and it just seems like you know travel baseball has gotten so big around the area. So like the hot stove, they may be lacking teams or numbers, but there's still kids playing baseball, and eventually they're going to come through your system. But like I said, like you said mentioned before, like there's rarely unless it's 35 degrees and snowing or raining, this field has a lot of people that comes and watch games. I there's a local restaurant down the street called Dino's, and there's a group of guys in there to go drink coffee every morning. Well, they come and watch the games. You know, my old high school coach Jim Pepperny, he still comes to the games. It's just it's something to be very very proud of here. Especially with our field. I consider our field one of the nicest fields in the area, especially playing wise. And a lot of this field was put in by donation. There's a local farm down the street that when I go to reseed and every year they donate straw. There's a couple communities we need gravel for around the behind the dugouts or something like that. And, they donate. It's just I don't know. I don't know how else to explain it. It just feels good.
It's definitely a special thing you got going on over there in Jackson Milton country too. And I know that community support too. The boys want to put on a show and they want to give them some wins to cheer for this year. We're wishing you the best of luck this year, coach, with all the experience you're bringing back. I'm excited to see what you guys are going to be able to do out there on the diamond.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'm it still is March 12th.
Yeah,
March
March
11th.
11th, 12th.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? We still got some time. You know what I mean? Like as a baseball coach, we're always the first meteorologist to check. You know what I mean? So we're checking weather a week ahead of time. You know what I mean? Like next week, we could be back inside next week. You know what I mean? It's just keeping the kids fresh and hungry at the same time.
Well, coach, we're excited for it. We're counting down the days to opening day. We wish you the best of luck this season, and we'll see you out there on the diamond real soon.